Hey guys, what's going on? East here. I just had a chance to take a look at the video that was shown, or the Twitch stream that was shown from Arc System Works about the new Guilty Gear stuff, and I also did a write-up on it in pretty pretty good detail on my website, FGC Academy. If you're interested in that, check that out somewhere, probably in the description or somewhere on the screen. I'm not sure. I'll put it somewhere. Sorry. But I did want to kind of I gave kind of all the nitty gritty stuff in on the website, and I do want to talk a little bit about impressions overall, based on all the changes that I've seen so far, and basically how the game might be played when it releases, if nothing changes, right? Uh, so again, if you want to see a lot of the nitty gritty notes, and if you want to make your own conclusions, feel free to do that. Again, check out the website for all that stuff. But just from what I've seen, I want to talk a little bit about how the game works and how the game is conceptually going to flow, and a couple of things right off the bat. So three big changes that you should be aware of. The first is what there's no air teching anymore. So you get hit, you just get knocked farther away rather than being able to just tech in the air and recover and do all that stuff, right? They said they wanted to do that because it reduces the Oki aspect of the game, which makes it harder for new players to kind of jump in. Second bit is wake ups are now on the ground. So like I said before, you get knocked away, you get on the ground, and you wake up. All characters wake up at the same time. Super important. That makes it so you don't have to time your Oki or your meaties differently versus different characters because it doesn't exist anymore. Everyone gets up same time. And the last one is there's no big damage much mid screen, and part of that comes from the fact that the Gatling's system has changed for moves like P's and K's, the punches and kicks. So if you start a combo with a punch or kick, you only have Gatling options from that button into that button. Basically, if you start with punches, all you have access to is different punches. So you can do crouching punch into standing punch, and maybe if you can do counter, you can do like what are they called? Unique moves into that involve punch. Maybe you get a chance to do that. Same with kicks. You start with a crouching kick, you can go to standing kick. Maybe if you have if you're Kai, if you have a 6K, you can do that as well. Because of that, it's going to be really difficult to get like those sorts of big damage opportunities off of these small buttons. Now you can go for things like S's, like slashes and heavy slashes and whatnot, but because the second the second thing where when you get knocked away, you get knocked really far, that might not be much of an option mid screen. So the game is going to start mid screen, and imagine you're on the offense and you actually get a hit, right? So you get a hit with a slash, and you knock them into the corner, right? So you get the hit mid screen, you knock them into the corner, they get up in the corner, and now you have basically a chance to get big damage. The developer said in the Q&A that big damage is going to come off of two situations. The first is going to be counter hits. The second was going to be again corner damage. So again, I said before, you get knocked away in a lot of cases. However, if they're already in the corner, there's not really much of a distance they can get knocked away again. So there'll be likely more opportunities for combos there. Um, so you get knocked down in the corner. So you start mid screen, you get knocked down in the corner. You have one Oki opportunity. I imagine they said that Oki wasn't going to be a really big thing mid screen, but I guess once you're in the corner, distances are much shorter. You have the chances to set up and kind of make your opponent guess high or low, left or right, that sort of thing, right? Um, so let's imagine you have your Oki, it pays off. You get a big damage combo. Oki's going to come in a couple of different forms. One is that because dust has been sped up, you can use dust as an overhead option in the corner. Again, you're not going to get much of a reward off of dust unless it's counter hit. And to kind of go along with that, they have also slowed down throws. So throws are no longer one frame. They also have a whiff animation. So your heavy slash doesn't come out anymore. Also, side note, throws done with dust, not heavy slash anymore. So your heavy slash isn't going to come out anymore. You're going to have a throw whiff animation. Now, if you're paying attention in one of the videos when Kizzy K was trying out Kai, he actually forced his opponent to whiff a throw, and he did a 2H with Kai, and he got a counter hit. And the screen slowed down. There's these big white letters in the back that said counter hit, and he got a close up on his character for just a moment, and then he had a chance to do like a really big opportunity. You could tell there was a large float from the other character. So because of this kind of counter hit base and the potential for throws to whiff, there might be some shimmies in the game. whether you're a fan of that or not a fan of that, we'll have to see, and also how I guess that works out as far as knockdown options. Um, so yeah, they didn't say specifically whether a whiffed throw animation causes a counter hit state, regardless of if the throw is already finished or you're just doing the recovery for the throw. But I don't know. It looked like that throw was over quite a while ago, and then he still popped in with the 2-8. So who knows? Um, so then let me kind of get back on track here. Uh, Counter hit damage and Oki damage in the corner is probably going to be pretty high. Now, the last mechanic, the newest one that's been added, which is kind of like the wall break mechanic, the wall mechanic in the corner, wherein you hit the wall 3 times. Imagine your character gets wall splatted 3 times. On that third time, the wall is actually going to break, and you're actually going to transition to a different backdrop on the level, same level, but you're going to transition into a different backdrop where both your characters are at mid-screen. Which means the person who was initially on defense in the corner gets to go back to mid-screen and play footsies again. Whereas the person who was on offense in the corner who actually initiated the wall break, they don't have chance for a second Oki setup, which may actually come into play where when people are like making combos and Okis, maybe they only hit you twice on the wall, and maybe they try to reset based off of that. But the person who initiated the Oki will get, as a compensation, an attack buff for a short amount of time. So basically, you get the wall break on your opponent. They were splatted. They get knocked away. You both start mid-screen again, and you kind of start the whole flow that I just talked about one more time, or over and over again. With the fact that you have a small damage buff in footsies, which is kind of nice because that adds up over time. 2 of those, and the game is probably going to be over on the next hit. So yeah, that's kind of the new flow of the game that they've built out so far. Again, all this stuff is not set in stone. They said they're going to change the game, or they plan to make changes to the game a lot, based on player feedback in various locations. One of those being the Arc Revo Finals in America. But you can kind of imagine the flow of the game is going to go like this: mid-screen, play footsies, get a knockdown into the corner, play Oki once, get big damage, get a wall break, and then get the wall break, go back to mid-screen, replay everything one more time. Which means that if you get knocked into the corner and then you get out, it's going to be really tough because you have to basically go back through 2 sets of play to get your opponents into the corner, which might make games a little bit long. I don't know. That's something to think about, though, because you get knocked down in the corner, you have to basically knock your opponent off of you, and then you play footsies again, and then you have to knock them into their corner, essentially. So a lot of folks, I don't know if they're happy or mad about that, but the changes. But this is kind of the direction that the developers seem to be taking with the new Guilty Gear. Let me know what you think, or if you think that's even the right, sort of idea for the new Guilty Gear in the comments below. I'll be reading there and talking as well, guys. Again, if you want to take a look at the stream, I have a link to the stream on my website. That actually happened. If you want to see the actual VOD, is that what you call it? I don't know. But that'll be there as well. And also, if you want to see just the basically bullet pointed notes of like the changes or the things that were announced in that video, please take a look on FGC Academy as well. Now, I am super starving. I did a marathon today, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.